Alright, hello everybody, Zaxter99. As has happened so many times with my missed videos and my negative criticism of garbage games over the many years I've been doing this, a developer has basically put their foot in their mouth with a response that I definitely need to combat. I feel like I need to combat. I need to set the record straight and make sure this developer doesn't pull the wool over any potential customer's eyes with their bullshit response. So this is the uh, asset reliant game Apex Ascent. And I also want to go ahead and set the record straight as well with their response to my review here on Steam. They put words in my mouth that I never said. So I want to go ahead and just clear everything up here from Real Gamer. And I reviewed this game. Again, the mechanics, it looks like the mechanics that come with this particular asset in the Unity store, evidently, look pretty decent. But the developer obviously didn't take the time to properly place all these assets up in the sky and make sure that everything worked well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this response left by the developer. Actually, let me just go ahead and view the entire review. You can see my missed video here left a few days ago, May 26th, so 4 days ago. Looks like 3 days, two or 3 days after the review was left. A Real Gamer, the developer, says, "Thank you for playing our game. There are a few things that we would like to address. 1. The hitboxes are not misplaced. You just don't know when to jump. You can slow your videos and see that you got hit. This was indeed a skill issue." So nothing pisses me off more than when I call out a game for bad mechanics or bad hitboxes or whatever, or like being an asset flip or whatever it might be, and the developer comes back and lies through their teeth. And that's exactly what they're doing right here. And in fact, we'll go back and prove it. So, here guys, I happen to have the missed video, and this is like one of the first jumps I made. Now, yes, I did somehow miraculously jump with these spinning things here, these spinning objects, and make it through, I think, once or twice in my playtime here. But more than often than not, I got hit, and I got hit when I felt like I didn't, shouldn't have got hit. So the problem is here, this is not, please understand, this is not a game like Dead by Daylight where it's online and there's latency issues because you're connected to a server or something like that. No, this is a single player game, right? And I'm going to show you guys that the hitboxes are terrible. So let's go ahead as we get ready for this. Let's go ahead and things there. I think it's I jump here about 9:01 or something like that. So let me go over here and let's slow this down because he said if you slow it down, you will see that I indeed got hit. So let's slow this down to 1/4 speed here. And let's play this and let's take a look. Right here. Okay, I am jumping. You look, if you see where I'm jumping, and I tried to jump right about the same time that this one passed. You would think that would be good timing because you would think, hey, jump about the time that this thing is right here. And if we rewind this a little bit, guys, even, right, let's go ahead and rewind. We'll see that I immediately press my space bar to jump about the time this thing is right here so that I should have it. You can see that my timing looks spot on. Right here, I pressed my space bar somewhere. That should be good timing to get past here. You can see my timing looks like it should work. So what happens as I jump here, right? And I did give it a little more time, but watch what happens here, guys. Remember, this developer said I accused this game of having bad hitboxes and getting hit when I didn't truly get hit. Watch what happens here, guys. As we're jumping here, I am getting hit, I believe, right here. Yes, right here, I'm already hit. My head never even came close to this thing. So this game is saying that I hit this particular wheel spike right here. And as you can see, I never got hit. So again, let's go ahead and rewind that one more time. Let's watch it in real time first. Let's watch it in real time first, real quick, just so you can see it in real time. Right? Yeah. Okay. And then let's go back here and let's watch it again in slow motion one more time. Remember, the developer said himself, play it back in slow motion and you'll see that I indeed got hit. And this is a skill issue. Blaming me, the player. I knew it felt bad. The important thing here, whether I got hit or not, it feels terrible. When you make this jump, it feels bad. And that's the most important thing, is if it feels bad to your average player, it's not like I've never played a fucking game before, right? So here we go, guys. Again, I make the jump, and I got hit. As you can see, I never even came close to hitting that thing. But if you look at that developer's review, he says, again, hitboxes are not misplaced. You just don't know when to jump. You can slow your videos down, which is what we did, and see that you got hit. Did we? I didn't see that I got hit. This was indeed a skill issue! Oh my god. And then he says you do not have to press R with C to roll. You just have to press R. Okay, I might give him that. And if we come back here, I think that is, if we come back here to regular speed. But you can see this laser here is too low. And, right? So this is why I hit C to crouch and R to roll. Right? So right here, I hit C to crouch to make sure I'm under the damn laser, and R to roll. I guess he's saying that I could have just hit R. I mean, I'm going to make damn sure I'm not going to get hit by this stupid laser, especially with the hitboxes as bad as they are on these wheels, on these spinning wheels. So, big deal. I got under your object here, your laser, without getting hit. I succeeded. So don't act like I'm an idiot because I hit C and hit R. Yes, hitting R might work by itself, but then we come back up here to where this thing here, because you hit them, like, I feel like you hit these things way before you actually do. So you've got to, see, I was trying to make an allowance for how long it would take me to jump over there. But you can't do that. You basically, if you... See, I thought I'd figured this out. That's what I was explaining, and this is right before I slowed it down. I thought I'd figured this out, but obviously I still hadn't figured it out. But as we saw, I clearly got hit, didn't even come close to touching that thing, and he said this is a skill issue. So full of shit, man. A says 3. We are aware of the bug test that send player back to the starting point, not send player back to the starting point, and we are fixing it. Guarantee you, this will probably never be fixed, right? It happens several times in my short game time, where I would be like up here and starting to interact with an object over here. All of a sudden, it would just teleport me back to the very starting platform, no matter how far I got. Super frustrating. And you guys can go watch the video if you want to see that. I want to go ahead and continue with this developer's lies. From start to finish, you call that game a copy of Only Climb. I said, yes, there are a lot of people copying Only Up, you dumb shit. Not Only Climb, it's Only Up. It's the original game like this where assets are put up in the sky. However, Only Up, the game that the original developer canceled and took down off Steam many years ago, was at least 20 times better than your cobbled together piece of shit. But it's not called Only Climb. I said Only Up, and I did not call it Only Climb. You called it Only Climb. I don't know what the fuck Only Climb is. You said it's a copy of Only Climb even before you played it. Of course I did, because it looks like that on your trailer. It looks like another Only Up clone. It's another Only Up game, and that's exactly what it is. Which is not true. So here's another lie. There are countless things we can mention that make our game different from Only Up, he means. But that will be unnecessary. Sure. If there's so many things that make your game completely different from Only Up, I can tell you a few things that make your game completely different. It's made with 1/100th the effort. It's made with lackluster controls, it's made with terrible hitboxes, and it's cobbled together garbage. Unlike Only Up, which had a very well written story. You heard voices from the character as they played. It was a very good experience. When I first played Only Up, I was blown away by how well it was done. Your game is a freaking lazy piece of shit. Cobbling together assets up in the sky, not worrying about hitboxes, not worrying about how the game feels to the player. Your game is fucking just cobbled together garbage, right? And this is pretty much what I said in my video as well. He said, you also mentioned that this is just an asset flip. This is yet another lie. So let's go ahead and prove this, guys. Nowhere in my video, you guys can go and watch my video should you want to, right? But let's go ahead and we are on normal speed. I think I get done playing their game about 11:45 here. Let's listen to me talk about the game here. At least there are checkpoints, I'll give them that. This will show the bug where I get teleported back to the start. I do nothing wrong, I don't fail or anything like that, I just get teleported back to the start. Yep. What? Okay. That bug right there, I think that's what happened to me earlier. Now I'm right back at the start. Alright guys, because of the horrible hitboxes and because of what we just saw, that's the second time that's happened. And I've been playing this game for all of 5 minutes? 7 minutes? Something like that? Less than 10 minutes for sure. And I've already seen numerous game-breaking bugs. Listen for asset flip. Do I ever use the words asset flip? There's a lot more to making a game than simply taking random assets and throwing them all in the sky and not doing nearly enough playtesting to make a quality game. Notice that, guys, I did not say asset flip there anywhere. Listen for me saying the words asset flip. I wish indie developers would learn there's a lot more to making a game than simply taking random assets and throwing them all in the sky and not doing nearly enough playtesting to make a quality game. I had high hopes for this game when I first started playing it. A lot of it feels fine. This part right here feels fine. But the only reason it does feel fine is because it looks like he has a good asset. This asset and the animations included in this particular asset that he has, it's a quality asset. So it's hard to make a bad game with quality assets. But then when you add in all your other assets and you don't properly align the hitboxes and you don't playtest your own game, you're going to wind up with a game that's really bad. So despite how good it looked initially, it is kind of what I expected it to be, guys. This is yet just another poorly rushed, very rushed, and poorly made, very under-tested miss video. Miss game, in my opinion. I honestly don't believe this game's ever going to have the multiplayer added. And it won't ever have multiplayer added. Again, still, you have not heard me say the words asset flip. I don't think I doubt he'll ever, like, take what I'm saying bad about his game here in this video and make it better. He'll probably just leave it broken, and the reason he will is because, you know, he didn't make a bajillion dollars on the game. So many indie developers, they'll put out their first game, and because they don't make $1 million, they have this grandeur fantasy of making $1 million in the first week on their game, and when they don't do that, they don't give a damn, and they don't put out any real updates, they don't care, and they give up too quickly and never fix the game, never put out, you know, never finish the early access, whatever. It just happens all too often. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this indie developer named Real Gamer, you know, is a real indie dev and actually finishes the game and makes it better. But right now, guys, because of all the bugs we saw in just less than 10 minutes of playing it, this is yet another missed video, guys. It's bad. Starts off looking pretty good, feels pretty good, looks pretty good, but then we quickly see it go crashing down when you see terrible hitboxes and bugs galore. So it is just another terrible only up clone attempt, and it is you just heard me say it's another terrible only up attempt, not only climb, you dumb shit developer. Yet another really bad game. Bad enough to make a miss video because I called it a really bad game, which it is. Never called it an asset. There's no way in hell this game is worth playing, much less paying $4 US for. So I hope you prove me wrong, Real Gamer. I hope that you make this game amazing. And if you do, if I see a lot of updates made and some positive reviews and stuff like that in your game, maybe I'll come back and re-review your game. But right now, it's as bad as it can get. This has been Zax99, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. So nowhere in my video did I call the game an asset flip. I listened to the whole thing to make sure I never said the words asset flip. I also looked at the review that I left, and nowhere in my review did I say the words asset flip. So I want to go ahead and show this developer who doesn't seem to understand that calling him an asset reliant developer or an asset cobbler, which I like to use a lot, where developers will just buy assets and cobble them together in a big incohesive mess that doesn't work. That's an asset cobbler, not an asset flipper. There's a big difference. I know what an asset flip is. Asset flips usually work a hell of a lot better than these games, especially good asset kits that you buy off like the Unity store or the Unreal store, because they're not complete games, but usually what they have there is working really well. What this developer has cobbled together here doesn't work well. But let's go ahead and show you guys, and I'll have this link down below as well. Difference. I'm just going to put in some keyword here. Asset flip. Right here. Yep, right here. So I'll have this video that I did 4 years ago. What is an asset flip? What is the difference between an asset flip and asset reliant or an asset cobbled together mess, which is asset reliant is exactly what this thing is. Developer just bought a bunch of assets or used a bunch of assets, put them in the Unity engine in a big incohesive mess, didn't properly test it. And he has a good asset or he has a good script in that particular avatar that you play as. Maybe it doesn't, the scripting doesn't come with that particular asset. I don't know. I don't care. But he either purchased an asset character that has the scripting, good scripting inside of him, or he ripped some code off somewhere online and pasted that into the asset, and it works well. But this is a developer that obviously doesn't know how to make good games. He doesn't know good game development, and that's what we have here. But I will have this video that I did 4 years ago for anybody that wants to know the difference between an asset flip and an asset reliant game or an asset cobbler, which is exactly what this game is. This developer acts like I've never been here before, like I've never played a game before, like I have no skill, like I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm making this particular video. You mentioned this is just an asset flip, and that we put no effort into this game. Okay, you didn't put nearly enough effort. I don't care if you spent 1,000 hours on this game. It clearly wasn't enough because the user experience is terrible, right? You as a developer might know the ways to get around and how to get up your thing, and maybe even how to bypass those bugs from happening that teleport you right back to the starting position when you shouldn't be teleported there. You as a developer might know these little tricks because you might have played your game 50 times. But you need to have other people that aren't the game developer trying the game out and see if what they experience is similar to what I experienced, utter frustration, which is what you're going to have if you continue to have the mindset that your game is perfect and that the hitboxes are not misplaced. If you continue to think and pretend that your game is in a good place, you're going to continue to get negative reviews or no reviews if you don't continue to work on your game. So maybe you did put some effort into it, but it clearly wasn't enough. I don't care if it was an hour or 3 hours or 300 hours. It wasn't enough because what you have here is terrible. Which is, again, completely incorrect and quite insulting. Okay, if that was insulting, I wonder what you're going to think of my response video where I prove that you're doing nothing but lying and you're dealing with copium, right, about your bad game. Severe copium. You're blaming the player for your game's problems, which has been a long-standing problem with brand new indie developers like yourself. In fact, I'm not going to call you a developer because right now all you are is an asset cobbler. So if we're going to be correct and we're going to start worrying about, you call my game an asset flip when I didn't, if we're going to start being specific, I cannot call you a developer because you are not a developer. You right now are nothing but an asset cobbler who has cobbled a whole bunch of assets into the sky. It looks like on a mountain range that there's probably another asset. You certainly didn't make those mountains. Everything in your game is a fucking asset. Those spinning wheels, the lasers, everything's an asset. Your main character that you play as is an asset. And you cobble those assets in the sky in too big of a rush, and you didn't properly play test it or have people that weren't the developer play test it and see if they didn't experience the same kind of frustration I experienced. When I experience that many hitbox problems and that many getting teleported back to the starting position when I buy your game in 10 minutes, why would I want to continue to play your game? You don't need to play a game for 5 or 6 hours when you're having nothing but utter frustration and that many problems in your first 10 minutes of gameplay. That's the fact. As a Steam curator, we expect you to be more professional. Okay, so another lie or another bunch of bullshit. I am a Steam game reviewer on my YouTube channel, but I am not a Steam curator, right? So if you come up here and you look at this game, a curator, my friend, is right here. It tells you right here what curators say. One curator has reviewed this product. Click here to see them. Okay, this is not me. I am not the graphics engine, right? So I am not a Steam curator. So again, guys, he calls me a Steam curator when I am not a Steam curator, but yes, I am a big-time indie game reviewer, and your game is trash, just like I labeled it. And he expects me to be more professional. No, this is my YouTube channel, right? And on my YouTube channel, I can say whatever the hell I want. This is called fair use. I bought your product, I reviewed your product, and I can say any damn thing I want about your shit game, about your shit cobbled together piece of crap, right? So it is exactly what I figured it was going in. It is a cobbled together piece of trash, and it's a piece of trash that doesn't have nearly enough effort put into it, even though you want to argue and say that it has no effort. Clearly, it doesn't have enough effort put into it. I also want to go ahead and point out something else since this developer wants to try to defend his game. Mr. Developer, before you start defending your game, you might want to look at the reviews that you have. Mine, which is obviously an honest review, and then we have 2 bullshit reviews here that you've basically had Chinese gamers play. In both of these reviews, if you translate the Chinese to text using Google Translate, you'll see that both of these reviews are nothing more than copy and pasted text in Chinese of your game description right up here. No actual reviewer is going to just copy your text about this game, convert it to Chinese, and then post that as their fucking review. So it's blatantly obvious to me that you are purchasing fake reviews to try to make your indie game, your indie piece of shit look better, to try to persuade and coax victims into buying your cobbled together piece of asset trash, which is exactly what it is. Notice I have not said the word asset flip yet. I said cobbled together piece of asset trash. So there we go, guys. I just wanted to go ahead and defend myself, point you guys in the right direction if any of you guys or anybody looks at his developer response to my review, and make sure that we corrected the inaccuracies and we showed the hitboxes in slow motion as the asset cobbler, not developer, as the asset cobbler said we should do. So we did that, and your game is exactly what I labeled it as in my missed video. I didn't label it as an asset flip. It's an asset cobbled together piece of trash. And if you want to know the difference, click on my link below and go watch the difference between an asset flip and asset reliant, which is what your game is. It's very asset reliant. And in your situation, it's asset cobbled together trash. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know if you guys agree with me, or if you think I'm too hard on this asset cobbler, and you think this looks like a good game, you believe this game is a good game, whatever. If maybe you believe that these 2 Chinese reviews are legitimate reviews, and he's not purchasing these reviews, whatever it is, be sure and comment down below. I would love to know what you guys think about all this mess. Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that this developer stands corrected, and we showed that the hitboxes are terrible, etc. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Peace, everybody. Take care.